still trying to build my empire.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're a different breed. We're Generation X's, baby. we the best. The best.
Yeah.
Special breed. Well, I'm doing this series, growing up black in the city of Alexandria, in part because, sometimes I'm still in Alexandria, so I'll go to the site or, see what's popping in the city. Mm-hmm. And I came across this webinar they did a while back where they were talking about racial disparities against black citizens regarding housing and how they had red line like crap. So I watched it and it was informative, but then as I watched it more, it began to be a little bit cringy for me because, one, we weren't there. We weren't in the thing at all. And wasn't none of us speaking. And it's like, okay, what? And then it went from black to minorities and people of color. They just morphed it and changed it, and no more mention of black and us anymore. So I said, why don't we have a voice? So I'm not trying to, no controversy, but I just want to let you know how I came to this. So what I'm doing today is special because what I wanted to know is, for you, I wanted you to take me back to your very first experience of adversity, because in part of the color of your skin, or when you first realized that was an issue. Because for me, and the last guest I had on, his did, but mine didn't. My parents, they didn't tell us about all of that. we were just going through life like this. But like, why is that dream? What? Yeah, I didn't know, But anyway, can you take us back to your first experience?
Well, in my house, and my grandmother raised me, and I lived in the Burg. So I was raised with my aunts and uncles. So my mother is the fourth oldest. Well, she was the fourth oldest. So she had her own place, right? She had bought her rented an apartment on Payne Street. So my uncle, Lucky, everybody knows who Lucky is, Lucky Elliot, you're from Alexandria. He worked for the city. So he talked about a lot of the future changes that was coming our way. But as a little girl, I would sit on the steps and listen to their stories about stuff that happened, like my mom getting in a fight at GC Murphy's because the woman wouldn't serve her. How she pulled the woman over the counter. Just a whole bunch of, things that was happening to them. And I would always sit on it. I don't know what it was, but I was always curious kid about history, being black, the Bible, and always listening all the time. And they would talk about the experience, protesting and things of that nature. And so growing up, I was like, pop to the people. Every little picture, I can't even, I should have had that ready. At every picture, I'm like this. All my other cousins I'm like this. I was like, okay, I was getting it in. But just knowing, my uncle, he always say, education, get your education. My education was something that was rooted in us. As time grew on, I went and get more, but education doesn't have to be a formal school. It could be learning the things that are around you. But I was always aware I had to strive harder. And elementary, it wasn't. I didn't see the black or white thing because you're a little kid, right? So I didn't really feel the thing that was different. Even though I was one of the ones that got busted to Laos Crouch. It was all on the news and had my little picture in the paper and everything. But for me, it didn't really strike that this is something they had to do to make us feel better, pretty much, the equality, to make sure that we had the equality in the education. So as a young person, I really didn't feel it. But as I started to go into middle school and high school, those things began to kind of click for all the things my aunt and uncle talked about. And I started to feel the pressure of I'd have to do 10 times work, 10 times harder to be recognized. And even with, now as an adult, well, I'm out of the corporate world, but I always worked 10 times harder to be recognized and never got the credit for it. Right? Mm-hmm. So, but high school, in the 10th grade in a government class, that was the first time I was ever called a nigger. Oh. And I got put out of class. Oh, yeah. I got put out of class. I was social study or whatever it's called. But yeah, in 10th grade, I got put out of class because the white boy called me a nigger. And everybody was like, Joe King was in that class too. But yeah, I got put out of class.
And he didn't.
He didn't. And that was the first encounter that I was actually called a nigger or made or heard that word being directed towards me, right? And I was upset because I never had that interaction before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
it was the first.
It was the first. My community was all black. The only time I did get to expand was at Laos Crouch. You know what I'm saying? That's, met all my now white childhood friends. But at that time, growing up in the neighborhood, it was all black. It was a black community. The bird was black. Black on black on black. The whole
that was by design. That was by design. They said put them on here. We don't want them in our sections of the city. Right.
But again, my uncle always say, "Hey guys, when you tell us his siblings, buy land, buy you a house. It's gonna be valuable. Buy you a house in here. They gonna push us out. They gonna tear it down. It's coming. And I'm like, it ain't coming. You've been saying that for years, kind of thing. But it finally came. Yeah, it finally came. And some of us fell for the, banana in the tailpipe. Some of us,
bought the place, bought a home.
Bought the house. But I have basically most of my family is still there. That's alive. I have an aunt that's on Paget Street. My uncle is in Del Rey area, and then the other ones are down Route 1. Oh. But as far as the inner city where we were brought up,
Old Town.
Old Town area. I don't have any more family there. But that was my first encounter of knowing that you ain't exempt, girl.
How did it make you feel? I guess in a few words, how did it make you feel?
I was shocked. I can remember. I don't remember the boy's name, but I remember his face. And because he called me a stupid nigga. On top of that. So it stung me because I never, like I said, encountered or had to deal with that face to face. So, first thing when I told my mom, "Did you beat his ass?"
No, that's right.
oh, hell no, kind of thing. But
yeah.
So that was my first encounter of
because we weren't. I mean,
realizing that I was different, and that now this is time I need to work extra hard. But I didn't really have. Only black teacher that I didn't even have was that I had Mr. Palmer.
Yeah.
And I had Mr. Atkins. I do not Mr. Carter for Jim.
Okay.
And those were the only 3 black teachers that I had.
Okay, and the rest, and they were rare. I mean, there were a few, and even if you were in, I guess, GW and the other ones in Hammond, we knew the black teachers in both schools.
Right.
Because Miss Morgan, Miss Adams, Mr. Palmer, I think he ended up coming over to John Adams, and then he went to GW.
Yeah, so those are the only.
He was coaching and teaching.
Yeah, basketball. Yeah. So those were the only black teachers that I had that I was in their classroom. But I felt again more so as I went into middle school and high school, the pressure of having to work hard, no matter.
Harder. Yeah, and you learn to articulate like and you dress like, and then you go out, summer break, and I'm talking about my experience. We go down to the All Things Tuesday, whatever gift shop, and they have they're hiring, and I apply for the job, and I go in there because I'm taking fashion merchandising, so I think I'm ready, and they stuff me in the back in the stock room.
Yeah.
Not in the front. No way in the front. I'm thinking I'm going to be at the cash register. I'm going to be somewhere in the front. No, they stuff, and that it became a reoccurring theme. So after a while, I'm like, I'll say something's not right. And but anyway, I didn't know. Yeah. because see, and during those times, our black communities were thriving.
Yeah.
In this city. You know, we had Moss on this corner store. So all I saw was black winners. My grandmother, all of them, they had coins, baby. We was traveling, we were living life, and it was love. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it wasn't like we were destitute, and when we didn't see them, and that's the part I didn't know back then. And they weren't there. And even when and now in school, I had a Korean friend, Dong Nam. I still wonder whatever happened to him, because we used to do math and science. And so it's funny that I remember his name out of all the people. But I had a Korean friend, Dong Nam. I thought, whatever happened to Dong Nam? And, white friends and all that. But then once we left school, they were gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now it makes sense. I understand where they're gone. They're gone back to their world, and
Yeah.
But we're here, and we're part of this city, and this is why our voices need to be heard. And I know you did something in the past. I wasn't able to at the time to join in. You started a group. Yes.
So Lynn Nelson and I. May she rest in peace.
Yeah, I'm gonna say rest in peace. Boy, that was a blow, I'm sure. She was just so sweet.
Oh God, yeah. I don't know why, but I still have a lot of my deceased friends' number in my phone. Like Donna McMurray popped up on my phone. I was like, what? Donna, you trying to call me, girl?
Yeah.
I accidentally called Lynn the other day. I still have her number, but we started Black Roots of Alexandria.
Right.
And so the premise was to educate newbies coming into the city about the rich Black community that was. And in the long run, we wanted to do a documentary on the Black families that were so instrumental in building these communities. So, but we had a good time of, doing little things together, events, putting events and stuff like that together. I had the Black Authors Expo. Again, it was to showcase the Black writers in Alexandria. Again, that was something Lynn was really frustrated upon, and so was I, but people from all other areas. I had people from New York, North Carolina, South Carolina, Ohio, Georgia would come to the event, and you only had like 2 people from Alexandria. And we had a list of people that had written books that we contacted and wanted them to be a part to showcase, their writings, but they would not come out and participate. So that was one of the biggest issue that we had, was understanding why we're not connecting. What is it? And that's one of the biggest issue with us Black people, is when we're trying to build, you want to build separately. But if we build together, we can do a whole lot better in building up what we're trying to achieve, right? And so somebody else, they want to do a Black Authors thing, and this one wanted. I was like, well, I wasn't trying. We weren't trying to set a trend. We want everybody to come together, so we can say, hey, News 7, look what we got here in Alexandria. These folks came from Alexandria, Virginia. You know what I'm saying? And we came from the community. We came from the streets. We came from we overthrived the drug community. We survived that era. We got a story to tell. This is what happened to us. But they did, I don't know. But that's one of the sore spots that Lynn and I constantly
ran into at the time.
Because I don't, it's like we always say, crabs in a barrel.
Yeah.
But if we build together, we can build a community. We can build something that we can thrive in. We always want to be included. Yeah. That was the whole thing, right? We want equal rights. We want to be included. We want to be a part. Mm-hmm. But now I'm like, I do our own thing, because we are the ones that are putting all the dollars
into this
into society.
Yeah, we're still slaves on the plantation. The money we all spend is the cotton. Okay, exactly. We still go to work, make the cotton, and we give it to them.
Yeah. So,
in a sense. We should have our own super PAC. All the Black churches should come together as one. That's what you said about the separate. That's all evident in the church world.
Yeah.
So you got church.
A church on Queen Street. You got another one on Queen Street. You got
Alpha Street, Duke Street. You got them up here on King. And the thing, and now I guess because of the pandemic, I just came across that I can literally go to all the churches right on YouTube. They all have channels. And I urge you to go over there and look at all the churches you can think of. Go to their YouTube channels and watch the services. There's nobody in attendance. They're empty churches.
Yep.
And so something has to change. Yeah. But again, I'm with you on that. They should come. I often said that the churches should come together as a pact, and we get our own representatives, our own, and try to get them up there government.
Not what I have issue is that when you own a black business, again, we are by our own people. We need to do 10 times better than the white person.